Hello YouTube, hello Internet, it's Irix Guy here. I wanted to take a moment to share some tricks for not getting ripped off when you attempt to sell your physical gold or silver. Now the first thing you're going to want to do, and you don't have to be a coin expert or a silver or gold expert for that matter to do this. The first thing you'll want to do is determine what you have. Do you have private mint bars or private mint rounds? These are pieces of gold or silver that have a marking on them, probably some sort of silver or gold company, and it may have a fancy logo, or it may just say the fineness and the quantity of gold or silver. Or is it a government coin, a government issued coin? Governments from around the world, the most popular being, of course, the United States. We've got the American Silver Eagles. Canada has the Maple Leafs, and they also have a lot of special coin series that are released that are bullion coins. Bullion coins just being coins that are purchased for their precious metals content. And then also you've got the Australian Perth Mint. You've got Chinese pandas come from China, and that's just a few. I mean, there's tons of different countries that sell bullion coins. But so you need to determine what you have. Do you have government issued coins? Do you have private mint bars? Do you have private mint rounds? And once you determine that, if you have coins, the first thing you're going to want to do is pick up something such as this Numismatic News, which is it's a neat little magazine that tells coin trends and whatnot, and it also has up-to-date price lists. So if you have some coins, you want to make sure they don't have a collector value associated with them, because a 1 ounce gold coin, if it was sold for the gold content, would probably only be around spot price of gold, whatever it may be at that point in time. But a collectible coin that contains 1 ounce of gold could be worth tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars just for that coin because of its collectible value. So if you sold it to a bullion dealer or a coin shop for that matter for spot price, they would be making a killing off of you because they would turn around and sell it to a collector. So if you have coins, check out something like Numismatic News. It can be picked up at a book stand. Or the best thing that I would recommend is to purchase the current year of what's called, coin collectors call this the Red Book. And you can go on Amazon, you can go in your bookstore. This is the 2012 edition, which at this point in time is the most current. But you can pick it up for probably $15, $20. It's available in this format. They've also got a hardcover. I don't really care about that. But what's cool about this, it not only explains a lot of basic information regarding the various coins, but it also lists expected prices that one might receive if they sold a collectible coin. And not to get into a lot of detail here, I'll save that for another video. But if you have a coin, if you found a piggy bank in the corner of your house and it's got a bunch of old Morgan dollars in it, and some of them look really good, they're not scratched, they look like they might not have even been touched by human hands. Those could possibly be what are referred to as mint state. Mint state are coins that have not been circulated. So the value of those could potentially go through the roof. So if you have any coins, circulated or uncirculated, that are old, or even if they're new, check them out. Get this book. Look up everything you have before you sell it. Make sure it's not a collectible coin, because when you go to that pawn shop, when you go to that bullion dealer, either locally or on the internet or wherever, they may not be friendly enough to explain that you have a collectible coin, and they may just offer you the spot price for that precious metal at that point in time. So educate yourself on what you have first. You don't have to become an avid coin collector in the process, but what you will do is learn what you have. And what I would recommend doing is getting a spreadsheet, and as you go through, just documenting the type of coin, the face value of it, and then when you look in the Red Book or Numismatic News or whatever, write down the range, if it was in perfect condition or if it was in the most poor condition. Because even if it's in the most poor circulated condition, it still might carry more than just the value of spot price for precious metal. So always check that out if you're dealing with coins. And then also sometimes a private mint bullion, bars and rounds, some of those might be collectible because they don't make them anymore. I know that, for example, with bars, there's a brand called Engelhard, and they no longer exist, but they're bullion bars, even though it was a private company that made them, Engelhard, but they're highly sought after by bullion collectors. So you might even get a little bit more than expected over spot for those. So take all of this into consideration, and as always, when you're checking out your coins, handle them with gloves, because any time that you touch a coin, you risk scratching it or doing away with the value of the coin, and those small dings and those small smears and all that can drastically affect the value of the coin. So always wear cotton gloves. And also, never clean. Don't think because you've got some old coins that look dirty, do not clean them. Because when you clean those coins, the value goes down, down, down. Never clean it. And if you think you have something based upon your research with these sources of information or wherever you may go, this is just how I choose to find my information. But when you think that you have something of value, you may want to get it what's referred to as professionally graded. And I've got another video on that, and you can find it on my YouTube. It's how to grade a coin. And essentially what that does is you send your coin off to a nationally recognized grading service. And I used Annex, A-N-A-C-S. But what they do, they take your coin, and these coin experts review it, and they document what you sent them, and then they give it a grade. And those grades that they give your coin are in line with what you'll see in like a coin book like this red book or the Numismatic News. So you can then get a really accurate feel for what your coin should be worth if you sold it to a collector, whether that's on eBay, in the local coin shop, online, or wherever. So it makes you as a buyer more educated as to what you have, and you as a seller rather, more educated as to what you have, and it enables the buyer to know exactly what they're purchasing. And that not only that, but it's authentic, because when you get a coin graded, they validate whether or not it's an authentic coin, and that way when you sell it, you don't run the risk of selling something that could be counterfeit and you be unaware of that. And then another item you might want to look at is this is one of these, just a loop, and you can pick these up, basically a little magnifying glass. And you can use this if a mint mark's hard to distinguish or whatnot on a coin. You can use this to get a feel for what you have. Okay, so now going to the actual selling phase. Now that you've done all of your initial due diligence, you know exactly what you have. You know exactly what range you would expect that coin to fall in, or what the current spot price for gold or silver is that day before you go to the coin shop, before you go to the bullion dealer, before you go online and try to sell some of your silver or gold items. So what you can do at this point, what I recommend, there's a site called Provident, Provident, metals, metals.com. They're an excellent online bullion dealer. And I've dealt with them extensively rather, both bought and sold from them. Their customer service is through the roof. It's incredible. But what I would do, even if you're dealing with someone locally, I would go to a site like providentmetals.com and see, okay, number one, what are they selling the item that you have for? And then also look at the item on their site and see what their buy price is. So if you sold it to them online, what would you expect to receive for your coins or your bars or your rounds? And then once you've done that, check locally. If you want to do business locally, I know a lot of people prefer the face-to-face interactions. So you can then go to your local shop, bullion dealer, pawn shop, coin shop, whatever it may be, armed with that information and know exactly what you would expect to get. Because often, if you go into a coin shop or somewhere and they're not necessarily honest people, they can really offer you something that seems to be outstanding. For example, let's say, okay, it's 2011 right now. Someone in 2011 discovers they have a bunch of old Morgan silver dollars, and they find them in a box and they look really nice, and oh, they've got that dollar face value on them. So that person, not knowing what they have from a collectability perspective, a precious metals content perspective, because Morgans have both, they're primarily silver, but they also have copper in them. So just from a bullion content alone, at today's price, you would expect just from the content of silver that's in there, over $30 per coin. But your uneducated person might say, oh, these are marked $1 on the face, blah, blah, blah. So they carry that into their coin shop blindly, and they offer them, oh, these are dollar coins, we'll give you $5 each. So that's an example of a coin shop taking advantage of a customer. Also, there could be a scenario where they have some really valuable Morgan silver dollars in there. They might have one that's worth $10, $20, $100,000, and that coin shop, hey, they just give them, $30. Here you go, good deal, and then they turn around and make a killing off of it. So always be aware of what you have before you approach anyone. Most people within the coin community are somewhat honest, but ultimately everybody's out to make a profit. Otherwise, except for extreme hobbyists that enjoy collecting low mintage coins and whatnot for the purpose of a hobby, most people are out there to make a profit, especially your bullion dealers, especially your pawn shops. So watch out, watch out, watch out, and educate yourself on all of this. I mean, I'm by no means an expert. Fortunately, I've not made any mistakes in the game so far. But I did want to share this with everyone because I felt that these tips, and I hope they're of value, they're very simplistic, but these tips should better enable one to confidently sell their gold or silver bullion and feel good that they got what they wanted. Now, and one other thing before I conclude this video, one other thing I want to point out: if the price difference in what a local shop is willing to offer is not far off from what a shop like ProvidentMetals.com or APMEX, APMEX.com. APMEX is another very reputable online bullion dealer as well. But if it's not too far off from there, you've got to consider, if you're selling to an online site, meaning that they're not located locally, you can't drive there and drop off your items that you're selling, you're going to have to pay to ship those items to the bullion dealer. So you might, because of insurance, and this is all dependent upon the dollar amount of what you're shipping to sell, you might encounter a situation where the shipping insurance for that is so much that even if a local coin shop would not offer quite as much, you might still come out doing better by selling locally. That's all the pointers I have, and I'm going to try to post some more videos, and actually I already have some more bullion related videos on my YouTube channel I encourage you to check out. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post, and if there's a video you'd like me to put together, I'd be happy to do that. And thanks for tuning in, and have a good one, and good luck, and always do your due diligence before attempting to buy or sell any form of bullion. And have